Thanks, guys. The Blues kicked off a day's worth of events by appearing at Chaminade. Students were not aware of their appearances by head coach Ken Hitchcock, GM Doug Armstrong, and eventually CCP alums Paul Stastny and Chris Butler. They fielded questions by Voice of the Blues on KMOX, Chris Kerber.
It was a fantastic offseason for the St. Louis Blues. One of the reasons we felt that it was important to start this event here at Chaminade was because you ended up signing a couple of guys that played hockey here at Chaminade. Chris Butler, a defenseman, Paul Stastny, the forward. They played, for those of you that don't know, of course, they played for Chaminade before they began their careers. And when you look at the offseason in general, what do you think of your hockey team?
Well, we're certainly excited to bring the new players in. Obviously, what's exciting as a manager and part of the St. Louis community and the organization, when players have an opportunity to play wherever they want in the NHL, any of the 30 teams, we were able to get guys that want to come and play in St. Louis, play for their home team, and to get quality players. But what's more important to us is we got quality people, and when you have great character, you're going to have a great team. And so bringing Chris and Paul into the organization is really exciting.
After the event, I was able to catch up with Paul Stastny.
It's got to be pretty cool to put on the national team jersey, right?
Yeah, it's always fun. I think it's to me. I just every time I put my uniform on, anytime I get to put a jersey, I feel like a kid again. I feel younger. I feel like I'm young as it is, but it's a thrill to be here. It's a thrill to be able to wear his jersey, and it's obviously always an honor. To be able to wear a national team jersey and to be able to do it back in my old high school.
Along with that, what's it like to play in front of the biggest names in hockey, whether they be from Russia or Slovakia, where have you, even here? In the whole world's watching you. What's the pressure like with that?
I don't know. There's not much. Every guy takes it differently. I think to me, it's just an opportunity to kind of showcase what I can do against the best players in the world. Obviously, when you're watching them, you have a lot of respect for them. When you're playing against them, you respect them, but you don't fear them. If you do, then you're going to be in trouble and you're going to be caught looking too much. But, we're all competitive people, and when we get on the ice or on the court or on the field, I think everything goes away and you're worried about winning, whatever you can do to help the team win.
Finally, how hard of a decision was it for you to come back to St. Louis? I'm sure you were fielding other offers as well. Coming home, that's got to be a pretty cool thing to do. So what went into that decision, and how hard was it for you?
There was a lot of factors, but I think the most important decision is I want my family and myself to be comfortable where we are away from the rink, and even more important, I want to be somewhere where I can win the Stanley Cup, because that's the ultimate dream for myself and for all hockey players. And kind of you look at teams, and when you narrow it down, initially there's a lot of teams, and in the end you get narrowed down to 2 or 3 teams, and they're all contenders, and really there's kind of a fraction of a difference between all the teams. But sometimes you just gotta go with your gut instinct, and it feels right. You can't go against it, and you can't fight it.
Right. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah,
have a good one.
Next, Chris Kerber fielded questions from our own Troy Collins.
Chris Kerber, I have a question. Now, you being the voice of the St. Louis Blues, how big of that, you being a St. Louis native and all, how big of that was an experience for you?
Oh, it was absolutely awesome to get to come home and know that you get to do play-by-play in a town where, you're following in the footsteps of some of the greatest sports broadcasters in the history of the games. And so it's our job to kind of do what we can to uphold the traditions and stuff that they had set. But pretty cool to be able to come to your hometown, still live around your brothers and sisters, your dad and everybody, and be able to go to work at the Scott Trade Center.
Now, working at the Scott Trade Center, what is your favorite moment when watching a Blues game?
Truthfully, my favorite moment still to this point was my very first game that I did back in the 2000-2001 season, and my dad came up and sat in the booth with me for that. So that's still my favorite moment.
Now, you've been doing this a number of years. Do you ever get those chilling goosebumps when, a play could have happened another way and you're like, oh, we could have had that at this point?
I had those today, frankly, when I was watching the Paul Stastny video, knowing what we were about to do and bring him out, and kind of how excited the students here might be. So, look, if you don't have those, you're in the wrong business. This is sports. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's not rocket science. So if you can't get it, you have the fun with it, then it's not the business for you.
All right. Thank you.
Good. Nice job.
Later in the evening, the Blues held a jersey unveiling event at Ballpark Village. They kick off the preseason September 21st in Columbus. Back to you guys in the studio.